We fire off the Icicle Sphere and attempt to snipe. With Latios, the opponent sends out Lantern, aka the most basic bitch meta Pokemon in the cup, and Lantern can do absolutely nothing. The opponent fires off the Surf. We might be Shadow, but we do not respect shit. We're now at the back-to-back Dragon Claws. The first one will be drawing the Protect Shield, and the second one will be securing the Knockout. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have an incredible battle submission from Akchillywilly. As that's a huge tongue twister, I am going to call him AK for the duration of the video, and today is bringing an incredibly strong anti-meta team. Lantern looking like a front runner. We've got the absolute water Lantern in Shadow Latios, and we've got Pachirisu. 100% IV, level 51. What an incredible flex. Also very dominant against Lantern. Flyers, top meta threats. We've got two anti-flyers, dragons, super dominant as nothing in this meta does resist dragon typings. We've got Walrein and Latios to combat that. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game one, we lose lead. Walrein into Metachan, we say switch into our dragon. And as I previously said, nothing resists dragon in this meta. So despite the opponent bringing out a Walrein, AK farms up, throws the Dragon Claw on CMP. We've already got ourselves shield advantage. Dragons are so strong. The Oppressive Shadow Dragon Breath damage has put this opposing Walrein into Earthquake range. We fire off the Earthquake on the CMP tie, again winning CMP. Down goes Walrein. We see the instant pivot into our level 51. Best buddy Hundo, Pachirisu, and my god, they've got Trevenant in the back. Pachirisu can only hit this Trevenant for resisted. However, these Thunderbolts are going to chunk. Shield advantage. What we gain in the mid game could give us a wink on here. The opponent goes for a stupid Seed Bomb bait. Pachirisu pretty thick despite only being 1388 CP. The opponent commits that final shield. They throw energy. Mr. Opponent, you sir, are about to take a big fat loss. Despite winning lead, hard counter us on the switch and having the correct alignment in the back. AK thoroughly outplaying the opponent. We shield up the Seed Bomb. Look to Powder Snow Farm all the way down. Out comes Metachan. AK calls it's just a power up punch. We can tank the first, shield the second. We've got the double Icicle Sphere, and Metachan is about to be countered by a Walrein, and you absolutely love to see it. So a lot of people complain they're getting hard countered. AK was countered all the way throughout this battle. However, he played to his win con, unlike the opponent. GG's and thanks for playing. Akchillywilly off to a very impressive 1-0 start. In the next battle, lead Walrein into Mew. Most Mew run Wild Charge, so this won't be fantastic. Do we see an attempt to catch the Wild Charge on Pachirisu? We do not. The opponent builds up to it, full send it, a great shield from AK. The opponent stays in. We fire off the Icicle Sphere. The opponent has lowered their own defense, so we get our shield back. The opponent then sends out Frostlass. Attempting to catch an Icicle Sphere, Akchillywilly says, Mr. Opponent, I'm far too smart for that. He holds his energy, full sends the Earthquake, rocking this Frostlass deep into the red, and we send out Pachirisu. The opponent full sends a Shadow Ball. Holy crap, this Pachirisu's thick. Frostlass, a very attack-weighted Pokemon, and Pachirisu, despite its low CP, looks like it can tank 2 stab Shadow Balls from it. Very impressive stuff. The opponent sends out Mew, fire off the Surf, again Pachirisu, far too tick, easily tanking that. We fire off the Thunder Punch. The opponent commits the final shield and send out Sudowoodo. Sudowoodo is unshielded. We full send the Thunderbolt, which lands for heavy neutral damage, and here comes Latios. This is just going to be game over. Due to our part Psychic typing, we resist the counters. Outpace to the Dragon Claw. Out comes Mew, and there is absolutely nothing the opponent can do, so they concede the match. Thought of the day: if you guys had £1 or $1 for every time I called Latios, you'd probably be very rich after this battle submission. As I'm probably going to call this Psychic Dragon the wrong name many times. However, in the next battle, we see the battle of the buffed ice types. Our double legacy Shadow Walrein against a double legacy Dugong, but now has access to Drill Run. Walrein used to be super comfortable in this matchup. However, Dugong's rise in popularity this season is because it can now hit for neutral with that Drill Run. The opponent sends out Metachan looking for the snipe. AK with the reactions of a cat saves his Walrein and sends out Pachirisu. This is going to be the battle of two very thick Pokemon. We're going to full send the Thunderbolt. Metachan commits no Protect Shield. We fire off the Thunder Punch, losing CMP. Hopefully this is just another Ice Punch, but the opponent full sends the Psychic, rocking Pachirisu to 1 HP and a Dream. However, again we survive. Fire off the Thunder Punch, getting ourselves shield advantage. However, losing switch is going to be brutal. as this now means that Dugong that is still alive is going to be aligned on our Latios. We come in, get the Dragon Breath farm down. The opponent definitely going to be sending back out Dugong and watch our health diminish. Out does come that Dugong AK, fires off the Dragon Claw, looking to force the final shield off the opponent. The opponent gives up that final shield and send out Swampert. Swampert getting torn to shreds by our Oppressive Dragon. We reach the Dragon Claw on the CMP tie. Swampert survives on minimal HP. AK gonna shield up the Hydro Cannon. Get the Dragon Breath farm down. Dugong will be returning. It's going to look to Ice Shard down. However, dragons do not give a crap about ice types. Far too oppressive, far too strong. And Latios is a Dugong counter confirmed. Moving on to the next one. Walrein into Grottle. This Grottle's actually running Bite. Dark types are banned, so I suppose if you want some dark coverage, Grottle, pretty interesting. The opponent sends out Mr. Mime looking to catch the Icicle Sphere. AK absolutely nukes it. What the heck is going on already in this battle? I'm lost. Mr. Mime was straight in and straight out. The opponent's final Pokemon is Relican, a Pokemon I've actually used in Sylph. It's really bulky, however not bulky enough to survive the damage output from Pachirisu. Wow, the opponent then Hydro Pumps. Oh my, what the heck, I'm so lost. I think my commentary is an absolute shambles. I'm so confused by this battle. I have zero idea what the opponent is saving their shields for to add to my confusion. Pachirisu firing off Thunder Punches. The opponent isn't conceding, they're saving 2 shields and a red health Grottle for some strange reason. Are we going to 2 shield flex on the opponent? No, AK does shield up the energy ball. We're then going to commit to the Powder Snow farm down, and that draws a close to probably the strangest battle I've ever seen on YouTube, despite being at this grind for about 2 years. Moving on to the next one. Back to more conventional stuff. Walrein into Lantern and stay in school, kids. Learn to count. We catch the resisted Thunderbolt on our Pachirisu and the opponent sends out Altaria, which is going to throw a Sky Attack as soon as they get it. Definitely not the play. If you're wondering how I knew it was only a Sky Attack, as we'd only thrown 4 Volt Switches, which is 16 turns, and it takes Altaria 15 turns to make the Sky Attack. We land the Thunderbolt. AK is going to make 1 more Thunderbolt. However, we're going for a really big brain play, firing off the Thunder Punch, hitting no bubbles, looking to force a shield. The opponent didn't shield. However, we didn't want to do any damage as he does want to come in, Powder Snow farm this thing all the way down. And then we're going to have residual energy to threaten that Lantern when it does return. Great play, Mr. AK. Let's see if it comes off clutch for you. The opponent actually chooses to send out Metachan as they don't want to get Earthquake. However, this energy is still universally useful. We fire off the first Icicle Sphere. Metachan invests its Protect Shield. Walrein absolutely loaded. We fire off the next Icicle Sphere. We're already at the third. Holy crap, this Walrus super spammy. It lands. We then look to snipe with Latios, and this is game over. This stupid annoying fish can do absolutely nothing to our Dragon Psychic type in. The opponent fires off the Surf. Latios absolutely laughs at the opponent. We're now going to be able to outpace to the back-to-back Dragon Claws, and this fish is about to get wrecked. The first one draws the Protect Shield, and the second one is going to be all she wrote. Once again, AK pulling off a very nice victory despite picking up a dreadful lead. Let's go. I must say I was a very big fan of that no-bobbled Thunder Punch in the mid-game, and AK's big brain is rewarded with our big fat 5-0. Moving on to the next one. Walrein into Trevenant. Since these 2 Pokemons released, they've been having a really strange duel. When Walrein was originally released, it only took 5, then 4 to the Icicle Sphere, so we had a good matchup against Trevenant. It then got nerfed, took us 5-5, so Trevenant was superior as it did win CMP. However, now they've been nerfed, so Walrein is back in the driving seat. The Walrus outpaces to the next Icicle Sphere. The opponent invests their final Protect Shield, a very questionable shield AK can match, and look to Powder Snow farm all the way down. The opponent not wanting to get farmed down, send out double. AK doesn't switch and doesn't throw his energy, so our Walrein is going to go down with residual energy. A great heads up play from the opponent, but we now see the battle of the farm animals. It's going to be the little squirrel versus the big fat sheep. Who will prevail? The sheep strikes first, full sending their payback, but this squirrel might be small, but my god is it thick. We return fire with the Thunderbolt, and the sheep near gets one shot. This is just a body slam, an easy tank for the bulky Pachirisu. However, the opponent is in an awkward health range where I don't think we're going to be able to Volt Switch down. We then come in, snipe with Latios. We get our revenge for getting sniped earlier in the battle on the opponent's final Pokemon. is Jellicent. The Hex is tearing us apart. They go straight for a surf. We show no respect. The opponent then sends out Trevenant, gifting us a dub as one Volt Switch takes care of the tree. Back out comes the Jellyfish. We've got the Thunderbolt locked and loaded, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see the battle of the water types. Tentacruel will be hitting us for neutral with the poison jabs. They're resisting our ice type fast move, however, Earthquake will be rocking them. The opponent attempts to catch an Earthquake on what I believe is a Lickitung, however we fire off the Icicle Sphere. We'll then pivot out into Latios, who's taking super effective from the Licks, but holy crap, look at the Dragon Breath damage. We make the Dragon Claw, the opponent commits a shield, they then continue to overfarm, the opponent gets really greedy, the Dragon Breath will take him out, we can shield and flip switch, and my god, that's going to be huge. As we're now going to be able to align our Pachirisu with the Tentacruel. Out comes Tentacruel, we fire off the Dragon Claw, forcing the final shield off the opponent. I imagine we come in with Pachirisu. We're waiting at our timer. We actually come back into Walrein. Perhaps we're looking to absorb the energy, then pivot. The opponent full sends the Sludge Wave. Holy crap. It's now one shielded Pachirisu versus the world. The opponent not at another Sludge Wave. Is this a Scald? It's just an Acid Spray. The opponent on a full poison moveset. Very interesting. AK overfarms, fires off the Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch secures the knockout. That final Pokemon is Kofagrigus. Can we pull this off? Kofa, pretty bulky. We're going to need 2 Thunderbolts to secure the knockouts. They're still in the green, but a few more Volts, which is going to make this super close. We make the next Thunderbolt, but is Thunderbolt enough to secure the dub? Who was worried? Pachirisu carries the team to another impressive dub. Moving on to the next one. Walrein into Lantern. Last time we caught on Pachirisu. We don't attempt the catch this time. The opponent is at a potential Thunderbolt. We do respect it and the opponent is not baiting. However, the very appropriately named Akchillywilly's having a go at some master bait in the opponent. Calls the bait. We are going to reach the Earthquake on the CMP tie. However, this is a pretty safe shield from the opponent. The opponent does shield. We attempt to catch, but as it's CMP, we're unable to switch out. The opponent full sends the Thunderbolt, securing the knockout. We now come into Latios. We are going to be able to aggressively Dragon Breath farm down. All these moves are resisted. We're going to take quite a lot of damage the first surf lands. The opponent then sends out Dubwall. AK invests his final Protect Shield. Despite Latios being one of the glassiest Pokemon in existence, these double kicks are essentially doing nothing. AK throws 2 Dragon Breaths and the Dragon Claw. Great fast move timing. We then bank a Dragon Claw, send out Pachirisu. Pachirisu is going to be able to Volt Switch farm this all the way down. The opponent full sends the Payback, and that doesn't do all that much as this little squirrel is far too tick. The opponent still with 1 Protect Shield remaining. AK at 100 energy, out comes Lantern. So we do fire off the Thunder Punch. The opponent going to be letting this go. That final Pokemon's Frostlass. Yikes. Despite Pachirisu being super thick, we're definitely in 1 move range. We fire off the Thunderbolt. The opponent continues to overfarm. We make the Thunder Punch. If the opponent shields this, we have a chance. We go for that wham bam combo play, serving up the Big Mac and the Fries. Dragon Claw secures the knockout, and AK pulls off another dub. Let's go. In the next battle, Walrein into Slowbro. I think much like Dragon Breath, Confusion is a pretty good move, as the only thing that is going to resist this in this meta is other psychic types. Just the fast move pressure has got us down to 50% HP. We shield up the psychic, go for a risky bait with the Icicle Sphere. The opponent shields it up, and here comes Latios, the Dragon Breath, ripping through the opponent. They then send out Trevenant behind on energy, and this Trevenant is not going to appreciate this energy. The first Dragon Claw draws the Protect Shield. We don't make the second. Holy crap, we die with the move. That is brutal. We have an Icicle Sphere bank, but we will lose CMP. The opponent doesn't throw. I imagine they're waiting to see what comes in. Obviously forgetting we've got energy bank. Down goes Trevenant, back out. Comes Slowbro. Slowbro fires off his energy. I think at this stage you just save a shield for Pachirisu and pray. Down goes our Walrein. Pachirisu comes in, the opponent stays in, and it becomes very apparent why, as they have the Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bird of Death in their back. The opponent says, fuck that, I'm out of here. Moving on to the next one. Yet another Lantern lead. This time we're having a change of strategy. We're not doing anything fancy. We're just going to pivot out into our Oppressive Dragon. The opponent stays in. Look to chip us with a Surf. To my surprise, the opponent continues to stay in. So Latios going to start unleashing his energy. We fire off the Dragon Claw. The opponent shields. What the heck is in the back? AK happy to invest shield. The opponent going to fire off yet another surf. However, we are going to outpace to the Dragon Claw. This is either going to knock out or force the final shield. The opponent double shields. Yikes. A really questionable play from the opponent. AK just going to allow Latios to go down. There's no real point in shielding such a low health Pokemon. We now wait out our timer. Come in to Pachirisu. The opponent sends out Hypno. Is this maybe a double confusion backline? That would make sense why they were absolutely petrified of our Psychic Dragon. The opponent fires off the Fire Punch. That doesn't do a whole heap of damage. However, these confusions are chunking even our bulky Squirrel. We full send the Thunderbolt. We then bank a move, pivot out into Walrein to catch the next Fire Punch. Walrein pretty thick, but as a shadow, nowhere near as thick as Pachirisu, so that still does quite a lot of damage. AK looking like he's going to one shield and Powder Snow farm all the way down, and that's exactly what he does. What is that final Pokemon? The opponent sends out Talonflame, a super clunky mon, so we throw 2 Powder Snows and the Icicle Sphere. The opponent unable to catch, then attempt to catch on Lantern. AK over farms, fires off the Icicle Sphere secures the knockout. We're then 1 away from the next one. Great endgame, and the opponent concedes. Moving on to the next battle, the opponent also running a Squirrel, however this Squirrel is called Greedent, not Pachirisu. Walrein pretty neutral in this matchup. It's essentially 2 bulky spammy Pokemon unleashing charge moves. Greedent is running Bullet Seed, which does hit our water type in full super effective, but a non-stab Bullet Seed isn't really anything we need to worry about. We then throw 1 more Icicle Sphere. This will either knock out or force a shield. The opponent invests that shield and we then make a great catch, catching the Body Slam on our own Squirrel. I'm sure this is the moment you've all been waiting for, some Squirrel on Squirrel crime. The opponent's Fat Squirrel retreats. They send out Frostlass, and Frostlass is greeted with the Thunderbolt, which rocks him for huge damage. Pachirisu would survive any one move, but we are going to choose to shield up the Avalanche. Frostlass now most certainly in Thunder Punch range. We overfarm, fire off the Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch goes unshielded. Are we going to see the return of Squirrel on Squirrel crime? Yes, we are. However, our Squirrel, although looking smaller, a lot thicker than theirs, which is ironic as Greedent is known as a really bulky mon. We tank the Body Slam, pivot out into Walrein. The opponent then makes a great catch, catching the Icicle Sphere onto Jellicent. This is going to be a really nasty Hex farm down. Do we make the Earthquake? AK commits. We get Hexed all the way down. And despite us having a full health Pokemon, our Latios will be getting one shot. We send back out Pachirisu. We invest our Protect Shield here. However, we're going to lose CMP and the opponent's at double moves. The first surf did draw our shield. Despite us being thick, this second surf will knock out. Can we Dragon Breath farm down before they make the Shadow Ball? This again is just a surf. We are going to survive this. However, the chip damage will put us into Body Slam range. The opponent goes for their own combo play. Body Slam is going to be all she wrote. GG's to both trainers. Very well played from the opponent. Moving on into the next battle. Let's see if we get back to winning ways. Walrein into Hypno. A lot of Hypno do carry Thunder Punch, and I'll reach that after 4 confusions. I thought we might see an attempted catch on Pachirisu. We don't attempt to catch, and the opponent does have Thunder Punch. Looks like AK happy to play this matchup out for at least a while. We shield up the Thunder Punch, fire off the Icicle Sphere. The next Icicle Sphere will knock out, so we should get our shield back, and perhaps we're going to attempt to catch the second move. The opponent does invest that shield, and there's that play that I was expecting. Great play from AK. This Thunder Punch going to do absolutely nothing. However, some points to note, as AK threw at the correct fast move timing. He threw 3 Powder Snows, then his charge move. We was then able to not only catch, we also got a whole 3 Volt Switch. The opponent then stays in, gives Pachirisu a huge farm down. My god, this thing is absolutely loaded. The opponent sends out Metachan, we land the Thunderbolt. We're already at Thunderbolt number 2. Does Metachan invest the final Protect Shield here? Yes, they do, and they're going to need to dump energy or we'll make another Thunderbolt. The opponent does throw. We're actually going to shield this Ice Punch up as we've got the Thunderbolt locked and low. I don't think this will quite knock out, but we'll leave them incredibly low. Thunderbolt doesn't knock out. We come in snipe with the Walrus. The opponent's final Pokemon is a Gust Pidgeot. Pidgeot not going to appreciate the Shadow Icicle Sphere. It near one-shots. The opponent does Gust Farm all the way down. However, 1 Volt Switch is enough to take that game. Latios getting a nice rest on the bench. Yikes. Shadow Hitmonchan into Shadow Walrein. Dreadful lead. We pivot into Pachirisu. Pachirisu actually taking a lot from these oppressive counters. The opponent fires off the Thunder Punch, then send out Talonflame. Trainer, what are you doing? That is one interesting counter switch. We fire off the Thunder Punch. The opponent calls it as well. Holy smokes. We could have thrown the next Thunder Punches. We're using 4-turn Volt Switch. They're using 5-turn Incinerate. So we could have actually forced the shield. But either way, we shield up. We fire off the Thunder Punch. The opponent somehow got themselves shield advantage in a really strange counter swap. However, this time we're full sending the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt gets our shield back. Hitmonchan gets the counter farm down. This is scary. If they've got Ice Punch, I imagine we're going to get one shot. We send out Latios. AK then attempts to catch an Ice Punch on his Walrein. The opponent doesn't throw. They then send out Pelipper. I'm so confused. What is going on? Looks like the opponent completely binning Pelipper, and I really don't understand this decision if I'm honest. As Hitmonchan could have got rid of the Walrein, and then Pelipper could have just spammed Weather Balls against our Glassy Dragon. However, the opponent chose not to do that, even if they got Ice Punch at this stage. We're just going to shield up whatever they throw, Dragon Breath farm down, and take another dub. And that brings to an end a very, very fun shoutcast. Huge shout out to Akchillywilly. That was great fun. Really impressive to see just how good Shadow Latios was. I believe it's Latios, the blue one. It might be Latias. I've said it that many times. I've confused myself. However, I think due to its part Psychic subtyping, it actually makes it pretty good because nothing resists Dragon Breath. And this dragon actually resists other oppressive fast move users like Hypno. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, like Akchillywilly, a link to my battle submission form is down below. In case some of you are wondering why you're not going to see Shadow Latios in action, I got absolutely clapped yesterday and went 5-20. The joys of trying to bring Shadow content. A huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.